How's it going, everyone? It's Johnny Beard here with an episode of the Streamer Tiers podcast. It's our side podcast from the Streamer Stories where we talk to previous guests that we've had before, but this time with a twist because we're going to be doing a tier list. And I cannot wait to have an amazing chat with this guy. He's one of my inspirations and a friend. It's ThatTourettesGamer.
If it ain't my buddy Johnny Beard, my man. What is cracking, man? It's been a long time, dude.
I can't believe
it's been a long time. And you know what? I just want to say this now. I am so happy to be back doing this with you, dude. Because we did it a few years back, right?
It's been nearly 4
and
years.
I had such a great time, man. And I am so happy that you've invited me to come back and do this. Honestly, It's an honor, man. It's an honor. Thank you so fucking much for this, dude. I swear to God, man. Honestly. Seriously.
I had to ask you. And you were the season finale of the first season of the podcast, man. And we're now on season 7. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I had to get a special guest for the season finale.
Oh, dude, that's Nate, such a privilege, dude. Thanks for asking me on, dude. Honestly, I'm so fucking happy, man.
I'm so... So... Yeah, it has been 3 years since that last episode, and you've gone through a whirlwind of stuff in terms of streaming and IRL, I believe, haven't you?
Oh, crazy. So, like, yeah, I can't remember how long it was after I did that podcast with you. I stuck around and streamed consistently for, like, basically nearly 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, some stuff happened in my personal life, as in, my whole life kind of got turned upside down, with my partner at the time, all that type of stuff. So she left me. In short terms, my partner left me, all that type of stuff, crazy, horrible things. I had to step away from. I had to step away from streaming because I wasn't like, I had no control mentally over my mind at the time. And it drove me insane. So in short terms, yeah, my ex left me. I stepped away from streaming for like just over a year. It's actually a giant running joke because I was away for exactly 404 days. 404 days. So I came back, and it's like nobody ever left because everyone's instantly fucking trolling me with the fact that it was a 404 error. Yeah. They're all saying 404 days. It was a 404 error. You were gone before that long. Yeah. Confirmed glitch in the fucking Matrix. Ben was gone. But now I'm back. So if you'd like to know what I did within that space of a year, I kind of just like got my head down. I started working out, doing a lot of stuff. You know, I'm still gaming heavily and stuff like that. But I was just on a giant self journey. I still stayed in contact with everyone in the stream space and still watch streamers religiously. But I had to deal with people just asking me every other day, when you return to streaming, and it was like this for over a year. Yeah. And in the end, I just snapped. There came several instances where I was like, right, I'm good, let's do this, I'm ready. But then I just didn't bring myself to do it, you know? And then the final straw for me was like I've been back streaming like 3 months, so the final straw was just a few weeks before that. I got my head down and I was like, right, I'm really going to do this now. And I sat down, I sat the fuck down, got my head into it, started rebuilding everything from scratch, and I just put everything into it, and because I really am about this life, and I really love to do this, man.
Yeah.
I really do love to do this. I swear to God, I really do. I just needed that time to myself, you know, and it was a big gap, dude. You know, I was out of this game for 404 days, dude. It was a big gap, man. I'd never been in that position before, where that had happened to me, or what had happened to me kind of deal. And it sucked, man. It fucking sucked. So I just overcame all of that, picked myself up, started working out, started hitting the gym, started doing all this type of stuff, and blah, 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 doing all my other interests and hobbies and stuff behind it. And still hanging out with everyone within the communities and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm back. And we're all good, and it's been I would like to say it's been better than ever, but it's like I never left, and I feel so fucking good right now, man. I can taste it in my spit, and I'm so fortunate to have the network of people I have around me, the very small dedicated team of people that push me and keep me going, and we come up with everything and stuff like that, and just everyone that decides to hang out with me on the daily, man, and dude, it's so fucking crazy, and I'm incredibly fortunate, man. I am incredibly fortunate to be where I am with all of this, because it just started with myself and a dream, and a microphone and a piece of polystyrene. I put my microphone on to keep it level with my mouth,
Yes.
and a 140p webcam, one monitor, and all that type of stuff, man. And yeah, I'm very fortunate, and there's nothing I can do besides thank everyone that has hung out with me. I can't. There's nothing else I can say as a streamer, dude. I can just thank everyone in the community. That's literally all I can do, honestly, because yeah, it's crazy, and I'm still only getting started.
Yeah,
I ain't going anywhere, so we're good. We're good, dude.
No, mate, honestly, you were made to do this. I feel like I said it 3 years ago, and I'll say it again. And I'm not brown nosing you. You are one of the best to do it. You are so good at what you do.
Man, dude, I appreciate it so much, man. But I can say the same for yourself, dude. We all do that. We all do this, man. we all do this. I won't even call it brown nosing, man. We all know each other. We're all doing this, man. This is what we do. It's where our passion lies. Man, so we all do this, man, and I'll make the time for anyone, dude. I really just love doing this shit, man. No. And there's nothing else I can say, bro. I love this shit. Assholes, yeah, little asshole, great shit.
So we were talking about tier lists today, and we had a think about which one should we do, but we've decided on PS1 games.
Yeah, everyone that's listening at home, me and Johnny have spent the last 25 to 30 minutes cooking of a tier list, what we can do, what games we can talk about and stuff, and I think we're pretty confident we have something good to talk about.
Yeah.
So we can get straight into this, man. I'm all good. Whatever you want to do.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Let's do this shit.
PS1 games. So we're gonna go alphabetical order, my bro. And what I'll do is I'm gonna just obviously I know you can't see this, but I'll be putting it into C tier.
Oh, good, dude.
So we got S tier, A, B, C, D, and F tier. So
right.
So you can we'll talk about the first game and then tell us where you want me to put the game. So the first one is Alien Trilogy.
Alien Trilogy. God damn. So you want me to put this straight on the tier list, or do you want me to talk about my relationship with the game as a child?
Please, yeah, talk about your relationship with the game. Yeah.
Fuck. So fuck.
Yeah.
Right. Relationship with the game as a child. So I can't remember how I acquired the game. Think it was my mum. I played it heavily. I still remember the day like it was yesterday, when I'd come home from a football field on a sunny day at 5 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday and started playing Alien Trilogy in my living room. Like that. That's how vividly I remember gaming as a child.
Yeah.
It is literally burnt into my fucking brain. Is because all I ever did was skateboard. All I ever did was skateboard and play video games and climb trees and hang out with my friends. That's literally all I ever fucking did.
Though, let's be honest.
Dude, legit, man. Yeah. Legit. So yeah, Alien Trilogy was sick. It was to me basically it was just like another Doom. Mm-hmm. It was just different, Same kind of vibe, same gameplay style, just a completely different game with a fucking sick soundtrack, may I add.
Okay. Yeah.
With a sick atmospheric soundtrack, may I add. That game was the shit, and I really enjoyed it. So if I'm gonna put this on a tier list, see, this is where I find things unfair.
Okay.
Because some people are gonna listen. Some of you motherfuckers are gonna listen to this and go, and go. Everyone has their opinion. Some of you motherfuckers are gonna go, nah, that's not right. That don't sit right with me. I don't care.
Yes.
It's bad enough that I have to put games in a tier list anyway, because I think probably all of the games I'm going to be asked about today, I love, and I could put them all in the S tier.
Yes.
But to make myself be somewhat kind of relevant, I guess, I'm going to have to put them on a list. So what I'm going to do is we go from S to A to B to C tier. I don't think I'm ever going to rank anything on an F tier, because that would be so sad of me to do. But I'm going to put Alien Trilogy on probably on B tier.
Yep.
Because of its value and the gameplay and how good it was, just like Doom.
Yeah.
Just like Doom.
Yeah, I never played it. I never played it. Some of
You
these games
suck.
that we're talking, some of these games we're going to talk about, I've not played, and you're going to tell me off about.
You suck.
Speaking of
and
that,
everyone that's listening at home, everyone that's listening at home, by the way, you're all gay. None of you, shut up. Listen, everyone that's listening at home. if you agree that Johnny sucks because he hasn't played these games that we're talking about, I implore everyone that enjoys watching Johnny Beard on Twitch to spam in his chat to play these games because he's actually missing out on some very fantastic fucking nostalgia.
Absolutely.
And that is it.
That is so true. And I might play him on but I do Retro Sundays, so we'll have to play on that, won't we? That's for sure.
You're gonna have to, dude.
Okay, so next one then is Bloody Raw.
Bloody Raw. God damn.
A
very cult classic fighting game. In my opinion, Bloody Raw and Bloody Raw 2. It was kind of one of the only fighting games of its time where you could transform into an animal whilst you're fighting and have a complete different combo set. If I was correct, because when you transformed into an animal,
oh my god,
you'd have a complete different combo set, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm remembering this shit from when I was like 10 years old, man. Like legit, I know, and I'm remembering this now. God, and I always used to play that bunny. I always used to play that bunny character. God damn, it was. I can't remember the names of the characters in the game, but I remember the game. Bloody Raw, sick fighting game, man. It was great. I used to play around my cousins. Come to think of it, I used to play a lot of games around my cousins. But Bloody Raw was one of those games. And I remember buying Bloody Raw 2 when I had a PS1 when I was like 16, 17 or something, just to crack through it, man. Good times, man. Great fighting game in the beat-em-up genre. Cult classic. I'm slinging that. Probably, though, you're probably going to hate me for this, but it was a great game, but I'm slinging it on C tier.
Yeah.
Because there are fighting games which are better, in my opinion. But I'm not knocking it because it is an amazing game.
Yep. Both of them, yeah.
But I need to make room. I need to make room for other games.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so both of them in C tier, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Now we've got the Crash trilogy. Should we talk about them individually or together?
Oh, dude.
I love Crash.
I already know where I am sticking every one of them. Because I am going full bias with this, and I'm putting them all into the same tier. And if go on them individually, hit me. Because I can just say now that the first time I played Crash Bandicoot 1 was on a Christmas when I'd got my first ever PlayStation. I woke up in my bedroom because my mother done this thing, right? We didn't have a Christmas tree. My mum used to sneak into my room whilst I was sleeping at night, and she used to put my presents in my bedroom, so I'd wake up to them. And one day, I rolled out of bed, and there's a grey PlayStation 1 box, and I've got a couple of games with it, like Actua Soccer, and I can't remember any other games that I had with it, but that's what I vividly remember. And dude, yeah, insane nostalgic value. I can nearly vividly remember. I get like the middle part of this wrong, right? But I can nearly remember the master password now at 32 years of age for Crash Bandicoot 1.
Oh my god!
I can nearly remember the master password. Nearly. I get it wrong. I get the little middle section of it wrong.
It's quite a big part. It's like isn't it 4 light lines?
But it ends with it actually. Yeah, no, it's like 4 lines of thing. It's like a 30 key input, and the end of it ends in XXXX.
Right.
I swear to God, if you look at them now, it'll end with XXXX. I can't remember how the whole thing went. Crash 2 was again massively great game. Obviously, it put in different elements, different types of attack moves, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Levels were a lot deeper. You know, there was a lot more content in the game. Bosses were cool, and a lot of content in Crash 2. Insanely great game. Mm-hmm. I think I played Crash 2 the least out of 1 and 3.
Oh, okay.
And the Crash that I played the most was 3.
Nice.
The Crash Bandicoot I played the most was 3 because again it had the most. It definitely had the most content.
Yes, it did.
It def content, and I was
really
I used to get addicted to the time trials on it.
Yeah.
And perfecting times and stuff when I was younger, dude. That was the shit, man. I remember the day that game came out, and do you know what sucked for me? Because I didn't own it for a long time after, right? But when I was a child, the day Crash Bandicoot Warped came out, I was going to school as a child. But my mum, before we went to school, my mum had drove me to my uncle's house because I don't know what you want to see my uncle for, whatever. Oh no, but it was before I was going to school. And he's there playing it on the day it came out. He's like, it's just come out. He's in the living room. Blah, blah. I'm watching the screen and I'm just like, I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. What is this? I'm a young child. I'm in awe. And I literally went to school kicking and screaming. I was pissed. And it was, dude, the game was so fucking good, man. So fucking good. And I'm going to put all 3 Crash games into the S tier list right now. If anyone disagrees with it, agrees with that, you suck, because Crash Bandicoot is one of the best platformers of all time. From Sony. End of story. There's a lot of great platformers out there, but Crash Bandicoot, man, is definitely on the S tier list. End of story.
I do love Crash. I'm more Crash than I love Spyro as well, but I'm always Team Crash.
Yeah, I love Spyro too.
Oh, we'll talk about Spyro in a bit. Yeah, brilliant games, man. Love them. Okay, Die Hard Trilogy.
Die Hard Trilogy. Again, I was saying this earlier.
Yeah.
It has an insane nostalgic child value. Pretty much every game we talk about on this list is going to have a nostalgic value to me when I was younger, because pretty much all these games I played when I was a child, right? But there's something about Die Hard Trilogy, especially the railgun game on that game. There's something about the soundtrack and the depressing vibe of when an airport gets rolled by fucking bad guys and it's snowing and everything's in like 20 frames per second. The soundtrack is hitting. Everything is hitting, right? And fucking, it was so good. It was just so fucking good. Yeah. Honestly, and that's just the railgun portion of the game. You know what I mean? Because it was 3 games. You know what I'm saying? So you had the platforming, the platforming shooter one with the building, with the giant building from the movie, where John McClane's barefooted, and you have to save all the hostages and kill the terrorists and all that type of stuff. No, and that was quite long. That was quite long. That game was. It was great. And then of course you got the I can't remember which Die Hard movie it's from now. I think it was from Die Hard 2. I think. Of where you're in the taxi and you have to defuse all the bombs based off the movie. You know what I mean? That was really good, but it was my least favorite in the franchise. So I would definitely put, in my opinion, in that game, I would put the railgun shooter as my favorite one, and then the building is my second favorite on that, and then the driving is my third favorite. But I've got a third favorite within that game. Yeah. If I'm gonna put that on a tier list, then I'm probably gonna put that on B tier. Yeah. I'm gonna put it on B tier.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was very.
That game was sick.
Yeah, it was quite unique for it because it was one of the very early PS1 titles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, dude. It was.
Very unique to have 3 different genres.
It was a really big seller. It was a really big seller, dude. Really big seller. So, like, I remember when they brought out another Die Hard game in Las Vegas, and it didn't do as well at all. It was a pretty decent game. It was nowhere near as good as Die Hard Trilogy, though. Die Hard Trilogy always has a place in my heart, man. Yeah. Every single damn time.
Right. We got Dino Crisis.
Again. Played it when I was younger. A great game. I remember sitting there with my cousin. I was in my cousin Kirsty one night, and my cousin Kirsty was playing it. And I vividly remember when she got into the office, and the dinosaur burst his head through the giant glass panel into that room.
Yes.
And the both of us just started screaming like crazy. You know, yeah. I'm a kid. This is basically a fucking horror game to me.
Yeah.
Legit a horror game to me, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking insanely great game. Just like the Resident Evil franchise, man. It was really unique of its kind. It was very it was a very fucking unique game, to be honest, dude. Because Resident Evil kind of always like flew the flag.
Yeah.
In that type of genre, right?
Yep.
And then Dino Crisis came along, completely like unique game of his own, just like Silent Hill and stuff. You know what I mean? They're all the same, but they're all unique in their own way.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
And yeah, Dino Crisis is fucking amazing. Do you know what? I remember being stuck for like a week on Dino Crisis, and there was this section where you had to move these pipes. I remember so you're in a warehouse and you have to move these pipes in order. Right?
Yeah.
Can you not remember that?
I do. Yeah, I think I do.
There's this section to the people
like
that are listening and that have played Dino Crisis. I don't care how good you are at the game and how much you remember, but guess what? I was stuck on those fucking pipes for like a week. It was insane. You had to move all these pipes in order with this machine.
I remember. Yeah.
Then to be able to go. Oh my fucking god! I remember that yesterday. Dino Crisis is straight up going on A tier.
Nice. Yeah.
Dino Crisis is hitting A tier. I don't give a shit. They're hitting A tier.
Yeah.
End of sports, man. I never played 2, so I can't relate. But I always played number 1.
Yeah.
Number one was the shit. Great game.
I never played Dino Crisis until recently. I played the first one on stream. First time ever playing it on stream, and yeah, I remember that puzzle now you mentioned it. It was
But you enjoyed that, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good. I have not played the second one yet either. That's on my list. But yeah, man. Yeah.
You're playing some classics out here, bro. You're doing good.
I love it, man. I love it.
Me too, dude.
We got Driver and Driver 2. Don't know if you want to talk them separately or just together.
Yeah, I will. So a lot of people, I think, rate Driver 2 better than the first Driver, just because you can get out of the car and be a cardboard cutout driver. And you get out of the car and you're like a 2D guy that's running. I don't give a like the running animation, just like I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. The first one is better than the second one. End of sports. That's in my opinion. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with those games. I really enjoyed those games, to be honest. They were really, really good, dude. Holy shit, man! And like, yeah, everyone's struggling on the first Driver when you have to prove you're good enough for the job in the car park. You have 60 seconds to do all those tasks.
Yeah,
like it isn't that hard, man.
Are you sure?
It isn't actually. I'm sure, dude. If I could do this shit at like 10, 11 years old, bro, it was anyone's excuse, right? I'm not one to toot my own horn, but it's like you get used to it, man. It's just a certain route you had to do it, and you know what I mean. You'd always clear it with like 5 seconds left, 10 if you're really lucky. But yeah, it was pretty hard. And I won't lie and say I did it first time, because it probably took me about 100 tries to crack it. But then, as soon as I cracked it, we're good. Like we're good. We remember.
The game opens up everything.
Yeah, but the game was weird.
Never got past it, and that's the game to them. They never actually properly played Driver.
Do you know how badly I feel for those people that kind of that put the game down just because they couldn't get past the tutorial level.
Yeah.
That's so bad. But the game was really unique, and what I really enjoyed about it was it straight up puts you into a character of a criminal where you're driving to do illegal jobs for bank robbers and all sorts of stuff. And then, not to mention the police chases, man. That was the most thrilling factor about it.
It was
the police chases, and the fact back then with the technology that they had, the limited technology, you had a full replay of your chases. How good was that back then?
Yeah.
How many games can you say had that kind of value to it, man?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Puts you in literally, you're a car thief and a full criminal, and you're doing jobs, man, for different criminals and stuff, and that's Driver definitely has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, same.
And I'm gonna be an asshole, and I'm gonna stick Driver 2 down in D tier.
Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna stick Driver 2 down in D tier because I don't know. I think that I just enjoy the first one better.
I'm not playing the second one properly, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I'm. To be honest, apparently I had a lot more content. I think the rendering was better in the game and stuff like that. Blah blah. But I don't care. I'm rating these on my opinions, my values, and how close they are to my heart, and how biased I'm being. And you're gonna stick Driver into B tier for me.
Yep.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going with this.
Let's go.
It's where we're going, bro.
All right.
Lovely.
Next up, we got Final Fantasy VII.
God damn it. So I wasn't the biggest RPG player as a child. I wasn't the biggest RPG player back then, but I vividly remember Final Fantasy VII because of how great the cutscenes were. A few of my friends that played it, etc. Storyline is fucking amazing. Storyline is amazing. Honestly, so much. Goddamn, man. I wish I had the time to go back and play these games through, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really do. to be honest, as great as they were, I was never a massive fan of turn-based attacks within a game. Within a game. But then, obviously, as I got older, with gaming and all that, I learned to appreciate how actually good and in-depth these games are and how unique they are in their own way. And I really started to enjoy that stuff, you know. And to be honest, man, with the games I play these days and stuff like that, I can say probably my favorite turn-based attack game over the last 10 years has to be South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Oh, that seems great.
Insane game, brother.
So funny.
Insane turn-based attack game. I think I've played The Stick of Truth through 3 times now.
Nice.
Or was it 4? I can't remember, man, but it has so much. God damn it. It's such a great game. I played through it again last year.
Nice.
When I was away from streaming, and I sat there and cracked it 100%. Really enjoyed it, man. But Final Fantasy VII, I'm not going to go into it that heavy because everyone knows Final Fantasy VII. There's a lot of RPG enjoyers amongst us. And you know for the love of God that you're going to love me when I say I'm going to put Final Fantasy VII into S tier.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm happy with that, but I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to go for maybe like B tier.
No. I'm putting it on S.
Nice.
Final Fantasy VII is a classic, man, and one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, man.
It is, and I'm sure anyone would agree.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to go, Final Fantasy 8 and 9, they're all amazing. 10, I don't care, because I didn't put the time into playing those games.
Yep.
I love 7. It's going on S tier. You're all going to respect my decision. If you don't, you suck it.
Yep. This is TGG's list. This is not my list. So, yep.
This is not Johnny Beard's list. This is not Johnny Beard's list, ladies and gentlemen.
He's the boss.
I can smell controversial opinions coming from this.
Well,
But again, I wasn't the biggest RPG player, so don't hate me.
Exactly. Right, we've for some reason got Grand Theft Auto 2, no GTA 1, no GTA London. Let's talk about, you played all 3, didn't you?
I played all 3, and I will say my first one is that my first one for the top-down GTAs. First one was my favorite. 2 was good because you had the ability to like do little jumps and stuff, and you can jump across gaps and stuff. And then you had 3, which GTA London, which was alright.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great, you know what I mean? But I played 1 more than any of them, and yeah, the game was actually so great for the time. It was actually so fucking great for the time. And before I even say anything, it's going on B tier. It is.
So is this the second game? Because I've only got the second.
Oh shit, we're talking about. I thought I was talking about the first game. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I thought we'd talk about all of them anyway, but the only game I've got is the second one.
So what I'll do is, to be nice, I'll stick 2 into B tier.
Okay. Yep.
If GTA 3 was on this list, but we're not talking about those games. If GTA 3 was on the list, I would have put that straight into S tier.
Yep. Let's talk about GTA though, because again, GTA is a massive part of your channel, and obviously GTA Roleplay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Well, yeah, I'm a role player, so you know, I'm a GTA role player, so yeah. GTA has been like a major thing that I've streamed over the past like 2 years of accumulated time that I've streamed. So I used to stream a lot of variety. So I used to do a lot of horror games. I love FPS games so much. Yeah. Massive FPS head. I was actually playing Tarkov Arena and brushing up before I even jumped on and did this podcast with you today. Oh, nice. So, yeah. So I love FPS games so much, especially my downtime. But as my formula and what I like to stream right now, GTA Roleplay still does it for me because obviously I'm involved with a massive role-playing community and stuff, and we all know so many people and stuff, but it's such a unique experience. Yeah. You know, it's such a unique experience. You could kind of put it down to, you could kind of compare it actually with like, I don't know, well actually you can't, because like role-playing in like World of Warcraft and stuff like that, but it's just, I'm not even going there. It is insane, right? It is insane. We're not going to talk about that now because of how twisted and mental it kind of is, right? But GTA Roleplay is in its own unique category, and what I love about it so much is the fact that I love voice acting. I'm Gabe, your asshole, fuck you, bro. I love voice acting. Yeah. So much. I love voice acting so much, and because I always wanted to go to acting school. when I was younger, but I never knew how to get into that stuff and get an equity card and blah 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 blah. I was just your standard like rebel skateboarding video game playing child. That was me. So when it come to that, yeah, like
yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I mean,
I've totally lost my train of thought. I've totally lost my train. I've totally lost my train of thought, dude. I've lost my train of thought. But like legit, I was literally a rebel skateboarding dude, so I never knew how to get into acting, etc., etc. And so when I discovered GTA Roleplay, it was kind of I think it had been out for like a year or something, or a bit longer. You know, because 5M was a lot different back in the day. It was just modded servers where people could go and drift cars or do other things like shooting things or whatever, fragging servers, all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But then roleplay started to hit the scene. I started to watch a few streamers playing it, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. I kind of forgot it existed. And then one day, I decided, you know what? I'm going to stream roleplay, and I'm going to see what this is about. No knowledge, no prior knowledge. I've gone into this as a self-insert, basically meaning myself, not even playing a character. I've designed a character within a roleplay, within a UK role-playing server, and my cat has come to say hi.
Hello.
I've designed a. She's just been spayed, bless her. So I've made a character. Literally based on myself. No roleplay knowledge. No, at this point. None of that. And I've gone in, right? And I've done it live on stream for the first time ever. And I tell you what, dude, I think it was by the third stream I was doing this stuff. It became... Everyone within this place kind of clocked on that I was a streamer and stuff. And they all just came in and shit just fucking exploded. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, holy fuck. Like, because before I started to get into roleplay, like I said, I used to do a lot of variety streams. I used to play a lot of horror games. You know what I mean? I used to run through stuff like all the Outlast games, Blair Witch, all that type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? Back in the day when I didn't even take streaming as a serious level, I used to play a lot of retro games. I remember once I'd done like a three day over a weekend binge of going through Luigi's Mansion and stuff like that, man. You know what I mean? On Dolphin Emulator and stuff like that. You know, I've done a lot of shit, man. I've done a lot of shit, but roleplay kind of took off for me in a big way, and I really enjoyed it because I realized there's kind of like a limitless amount of things you can do based on your creativity and what you want to create for others.
Yes.
And you couple that with voice acting and other stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's kind of limitless, and I find it so fun. I find it so fucking fun to be able to do this, along with the thousands of other people that like to do this. And this is why I love GTA RP so much.
Yeah, man.
Because honestly, it is people like to watch roleplay streamers as like kind of a daily episode,
right? You
know, of what's going to happen, because you'll make a story with a character. You know, if you've planned to do that, I've played so many characters, man, over the years now that I can't even remember. I always have this thing. People talk to me and they say, Ben, you're a fucking genius. The way you tell stories, the way you come up with stuff, etc., etc., etc. And to be honest, 90% of the time, I design a character, and then I'll design the voice for that character, and then as for the person's story, it's mostly a cappella, and my cat has just nose bombed into the balloons outside of my door.
That might be a good segue to talk about that. We haven't talked about the balloons. By the way, just for recording purposes, this is the start of August, but obviously this is much later when it gets released. But you're doing a special month, aren't you, for your streaming community?
Yes, a special month that started on a whim as a harmless joke. And now I'm surrounded with about 1,300 balloons in my fucking home. Yeah. And every time I open the door to my streaming room, which is converted from my living room, every time I open the door, all the balloons spill out into my hallway and end up going into my bedroom and my kitchen. So before every stream, I have to spend about half an hour before every stream putting all the balloons back. Every single time. And I'm surrounded by balloons, and I've been living with these things for like 3 weeks. The camera does not do this justice to how big this pile of balloons is.
No.
Like, if I stand up right now, that shelf is taller than me.
Yeah.
The shelf with my little moon, my little Chinese moon on it, right? That's higher than my head. So, I'm 5'8". That's how high it's getting in here.
Yeah.
This is how bad it is. So basically, for every paid subscriber, gifted sub, resub, prime sub, doesn't matter. Every single time one of those happens, you get a balloon. And I will pump a balloon up, and I will throw it into the background, and there is your balloon.
Yes.
And it's gotten out of hand in the most insane way, and no one realizes that I have to live like this.
No.
I haven't been able to access my garden.
No.
I haven't been able to access my garden for 3 weeks. My fucking garden. I can't go in my garden. And we've been living in a heat wave.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah.
For the last 3 weeks. I haven't been able to go out to peg my clothes. I haven't been able to go out and sit in my garden and sunbathe, relax.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
I'm committed to living amongst balloons like a clown until this is over. And I will ride this until the wheels fall off, Johnny. I will ride this until the wheels fall off. You know? This is the most, it's taken off in the most insane way.
Yeah.
I cannot cope. I cannot cope, and we're here with it. I'm living for it.
I was lurking on one of your streams a couple of days ago, and I think you must have had like a 10 gifted subs or something like that. And you were an absolute fucking pro at putting balloons up now. Can I just say?
Yeah, I have had my stream completely paused. Because some insanely generous people in the community have decided to throw so many subscriptions in one hit, just to see how much it fills this room, man. And people have been so generous with it. So generous. And what I find crazy is that I feel like I've kind of started a meta within the streaming circle, because I've had several people reach out to me now and say, are they okay? Am I okay with them doing this idea? And we all know why they want to do the idea, right? It's not rocket science, you know? But like, I haven't seen anyone do this personally, but I don't think I am definitely like, I'd be lying if I said I'm the first person to do this, because I know I'm not, but I've never seen anyone do this personally as myself. It was an idea that sprouted into my head because I was doing it with sticky notes a month prior, which I still have in storage, by the way. 2 giant bags filled with sticky notes, and I write everyone's names on them. It all starts as harmless jokes, and they just explode, and I can't cope with it. It's insane. But yeah, I've had loads of people reach out to me about doing it. I'm just like, go do it, dude. Go and have fun. I'm not the first person to come up with this. What do you think I am? Some sort of genius? Shut up. No, dude, I mean, if it supports your channel well, and it enables you to financially be able to improve your stream or your life or anything, then do it, dude. I don't own shit. Go do it. Have fun. You know? Like, that's it for me. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy living with like 1,300 balloons for at this time. Yeah, because it's just been growing and growing and growing over the past few weeks. Christ. And and this all ends just before Timeless.
Oh, there we go.
So it's gonna go until Timeless, my friend. And until then, I'm gonna have to live with it. And that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. End of sports. That's the way it is, dude. Yeah.
All right, that's a lovely break. Let's crack on with the tier list. So we're going to talk about the 2 Harry Potter games on the PS1. So it was
fantastic.
Chamber of Secrets and Philosopher's Stone. I'm not
So, ladies and gentlemen, those who have played Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on the PlayStation 1, you will know that it is a giant walking meme for how bad the graphics were. But I think most of you will agree when I say that the actual gameplay of the game was fucking great. It was a bit clunky. It was a bit weird. All right, the story very, 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 very kind of loosely followed the first movie and stuff like that. The dialogue was hilarious. The game was unique in its own way, and I think it was fucking excellent. I think it was fucking excellent because it was kind of its own sandbox. You know, it was kind of its own little sandbox. I thought the game was fucking great. Right, I thought it was great. I legit thought it was great. I spent a lot of time on that game. And I will... Hang on, I gotta say... Yes, the two titles were different. The two titles are very different. The Chamber of Secrets was far more superior.
Okay.
Chamber of Secrets is far more superior, 100%. But I think the first one definitely has a special place in my heart. Just because I'm saying that doesn't mean I'm going to put it in S tier. No, just because I say that, don't think that. But yeah, the games are actually great. And I can. Do you know the first time I actually played the Philosopher's Stone was? You're gonna laugh. Disclaimer: I did not steal. But I had it on a stolen disc. It was on a burnt disc. Because I'd lent it from one of my mother's best friend's kids. Because they had their console chipped.
Yes.
My console could read burnt games, and they lent it to me, and it was one of those ones where the disc was basically where like people would make discs back in the day, and they would print out the labels for the discs, the full cover for the disc, but it was like a really shoddy, like faint version of it. Okay. It was like a really shoddy copy of it, but it was like blurred, and it was like discolored. It was one of those, and that's how I first played it. Fuck yeah, home printer deal, yeah. But no, I loved the first one, man, and it was great. Chamber of Secrets, I ended up playing on GameCube many years later in my teens, and it was insane. The game was great. Graphics were great. Story was great. The animations, everything. Yeah, game movement, everything. It was fucking great. It was great, honestly. I loved Chamber of Secrets too, man. There's not much I can say about the second one on the GameCube, because I never played the. I did see that the Chamber of Secrets on PlayStation 1 was trash.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was trash compared to the first one.
Right.
I think it was they weren't as good, but no, there was this section in the Chamber of Secrets, right, where before you even go to Hogwarts, you go to the Weasleys' house, and you play this mini game of throwing gnomes. You have to throw gnomes over a wall into a field, and you get points on how far the gnome goes and what you hit in the field. Okay. And I remember sitting there for hours doing that. I sat there for hours just stunning the gnomes with your wand, and then just throwing them into a field, bro. Like, that mini game in itself made that game for me, let alone anything else.
Yeah.
The games were fucking amazing. End of sports. Like, they were so good. So if I'm gonna put these on a tier list quickly, I'm gonna end up putting the Philosopher's Stone, as much as I loved it. I'm gonna chuck Philosopher's Stone on C. Okay. And I'm gonna put Chamber of Secrets onto A.
Okay. Yeah.
Could you imagine being so controversial?
That's the GameCube version, technically, but we're fine with that.
Yes.
Fine with that.
Yes, it has to be the GameCube version, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's sound. Okay. Nice. Okay, we got Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor. Goddamn. It was a very great shooting game. Obviously, you look back now, and it's like, what the fuck is this? But the game was actually really good at the time. Like, really, really good at the time. I always remember shooting enemies in the foot, and they used to react by hopping on one leg. Okay. How many games? Yeah. If you shot an enemy in the foot on Medal of Honor, dude, they would hop on the spot, up and down. And I remember sitting there with my uncle, and we'd be crying laughing, because we'd shoot enemies in the foot with a sniper rifle from distance where they would render in, and you'd just see them hopping on their foot. It was fucking hilarious,
so
dude.
Good.
Yeah, it was so good, man. It was so good. I love Medal of Honor, man, on the PlayStation 1. I fucking love that game, dude. And it had a lot of good levels, man. The shooting was great for the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was in its own kind. It had a lot of depth to it too, especially with some of the missions and stuff. It was really well made. Yeah. Really fucking well made game. That's going straight into A tier.
All right.
Medal of Honor is going straight into A tier. I don't care what anyone says. That game's going into A.
Nice.
It deserves A. All fucking day.
I only played the demo, but yeah, I remember it being solid. That's for sure.
Great game, right?
Speaking of solid, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure you'll agree. Medieval,
goddamn. Another great platformer, dude. The only one of its kind. Very unique. Very unique. I didn't play it that much. because I didn't actually own the game. I played the remake, and the remake is just fucking insane. I played the demo of Medieval more than anything, right? But I'm gonna straight away say it was pretty much the only kind of unique platform of its kind. The way it was designed and stuff, gameplay was fucking awesome. A lot of cool things in the game, a lot of collectibles, man. The graphics were great. Sound effects were great. Everything was spoopy. It was real spoopy. And that's what made it so cool. It was real spoopy, man. I love that shit. Always reminds me of Halloween. Fucking fantastic game of his time. Yeah. It's going straight. It's going on B tier. That's where it's going. Only because I didn't play the first one through, and I played quite a bit of the remake, and I'm only putting it into B tier because I never fully got to play through the whole game and make my own opinion. But I know it is as good as it is, and it's going on B.
Nice. Okay, then we got Metal Gear Solid.
S tier win.
Let's go. Move on.
S tier win.
Now
S tier win. We don't even have to move on. We don't even have to move on. We gotta talk about this. We have to talk about Metal Gear.
You talked about this on the actual podcast. For those who haven't, you need to watch the episode. But you had a fantastic story about this.
So where do I even start? So I discovered Metal Gear Solid when I was a young child, playing PlayStation 1 demos, because I used to collect a lot of demos. My mum used to buy me the PlayStation magazines back in the day, and my cousins would lend me the demos and stuff, and blah, blah. So I used to have a lot of demos, but I was a really young child. I played Metal Gear Solid, the demo, so many fucking times. I thought it was like the greatest game even as a child. And I always remembered getting so pissed every single time the DARPA chief died. The fake DARPA chief, spoilers, sorry. And I always remembered every time the DARPA chief died and the demo would end, and I'd just be like, fuck. And I was like, I really want to play the rest of this game so much. Because I'd gotten that damn good. I'd gotten that damn good at getting into the facility and getting to the DARPA chief, man, that it made me ill. It made me fucking ill. And I'd probably rinsed that demo inside out so many times. It was so great, man. It has such, oh my God, such a nostalgic and value and place in my heart, man. I can't even tell you. Instant S tier, end of story. But so the story I could give you is that one day when I used to go to this, I'll make it shorter than what I said on the older podcast we done, right? So when I was a child, there used to be a Sunday market, not too far from where I lived, where a coach would take you on a Sunday, pick you up in the morning, and then would take you in the morning, pick you up in the afternoon, late afternoon, like 2 o'clock, blah 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 blah. The biggest boot sale of its kind that you've seen. 2 giant warehouses. It's now been turned into a solar plant, but the warehouses, the buildings are still there. And these buildings, they used to be used for people to do car boot sales in. So you'd have people outside doing car boot sales, and then inside the warehouses, car boot sales, everyone had their own stall. There always used to be this one video game guy. You'd have like 2 CRT TVs on the tables, games all over the table, games all on these racks and stuff, blah. The biggest out of his van, the biggest gaming booth, like, it was insane. That was obviously my favorite spot to go as a child, at this market where my mum would take me. And one day I went up there with my cousin Rudy. And my cousin Rudy decided to take me out for a day. And again, I was a young child. And he's taking me to the game store. And he said, I'm going to buy you whatever game you want as a present for me. And I was just like, no fucking way. I was like, no way. It's like a Christmas come true to me, right? Yeah. And there's so many good games. There was so many games on there. But then I saw the double case for Metal Gear Solid. Because it came on 2 discs, right?
Yeah.
And I saw it, just the grey case with Metal Gear Solid on it, and I was just like, oh my God, there it is. And it cost £15. £15 second hand. And I just pointed to him to get it, and he bought me Metal Gear Solid. I went home that day, all right? It was a boiling day as well. It was boiling sunny. Yeah. Remember when my cousin took me home that day, I put the game in, and I could not believe that I actually owned the game, that I played the demo of so much. Yeah. And I shit you not, dude, I could not get off of it. And I played that game through, like, so many times, man. Like so many times, like I used to go and stay with my auntie quite a lot, right, when I was younger, because my mum worked 3 jobs, and obviously sometimes on the weekends she liked to go out with her friends and stuff, right? So I used to go and stay with my auntie quite a lot as well on weekends, and I used to take my PlayStation up with me and stuff and play games. And one day my auntie saw me playing Metal Gear Solid, right? She asks me, do I understand what I am listening to? And I'm like, yeah. And I understand how to play it. And my auntie was fucking perplexed. She was watching me play this, and she couldn't understand how I was playing this game.
Right, yeah.
Because she even said, this looks so hard. And I'm just like, no, I like it. I really like it, blah, blah, blah. And the dialogue is blowing her mind because, you know, when you've got a young child that's learning about secret government black ops projects and all this underground crazy shit and governments and viruses and Foxdie and all this kind of stuff and all this crazy cinematic fucking cutscenes and all the dialogue from the codex and everything like that, man. Yeah, like, oh, dude. So fucking good, man. I love that game so much, and I played through it so much as a child, and I will sit on and I'll play through it now. The same as Sons of Liberty and Snake Eater, and also Substance and the Twin Snakes. Even the special VR missions that you got for the first Metal Gear, they were so fucking good too. And yeah, I love all the Metal Gears, man. But Metal Gear Solid 1, S tier, instant, no, 0 fucks given. One of the best games and storytellers. Hideo Kojima is a genius. He's such a cinematic genius and storyteller, man.
Absolutely.
So good.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yeah. All right. So we got Oddworld and so Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. You can talk about them separately. I'm sure. I think you said you liked these, didn't you?
I really like these because my uncle that used to look after me a lot as a child too, whilst my mum worked and stuff. God bless his soul. He's passed away now. He passed away 2 years ago. He's an alcoholic. He always has been. But he was the most funny, one of the most funniest uncles in my fucking family. And he was a video gaming legend himself. And like my uncle would babysit me on the premise that he would get booze, right? Right. So, whether it be a bottle of Bell's, because he always used to drink Bell's, or a bottle of wine. All right? And Bell's, bottle of wine, or vodka, didn't give a fuck. He was a spirits guy. God bless his soul, because honestly, goddamn, man, so many good memories with him, and he was a fucking, he was an Abe's Odyssey and Exodus fucking veteran. Nice. He's the kind of guy that would just play that game like religiously and like you completely play it again. And I used to play it a lot, dude. And I learned a lot from him. And I used to watch him play it a lot. Obviously, I used to play it. Used to play it myself a lot. And before I knew my uncle played that game, I used to play the demo religiously on one of the demo 1 discs. Yeah. And because I remember that same demo disc had Rapid Racer on it, that speedboat racing game, and it had Overboard on it, Post Challenge. What else did it have? I can't remember if it had the Crash Bandicoot demo with the Jungle Rollers level on it, the second level on it. Because every time you get a Crash Bandicoot demo on the demo 1 disc, it was always the Jungle Rollers level. Yeah. It was always, right? It was always, man. But yeah, that demo 1 disc that had like Abe's Odyssey on it, where you'd play like a very small portion into Rupture Farms. Like, yeah, insanely nostalgic. And then obviously I've gone on to own the games I got older as a child. And I can put them both on the same tier, which I'm going to do. Obviously, Abe's Exodus was a lot more advanced. The story continues a lot more in depth again, where you go back to Rupture Farms, and yeah, oh man, the games were so fucking good, and they were so funny. They were so funny. Yeah. They were so funny. Honestly, man, like, dude, the developers, man, like, Jesus goddamn. I never played any of the Oddworld series games. But Abe's Odyssey for me, like, it's basically the only one I know from them. And yeah, they got to give themselves a pat on the back, because that is just god tier, like platinum tier game right there for a platformer. There hasn't been another game since. No. Legit, there hasn't. No, I don't think I've ever seen another game since. No. With the comedic value. How great the gameplay was, how unique it was, and the story. Like, fucking incredible. I could go on about those games all day. They're both getting S tier treatment. They're both getting S tier treatment.
Yeah.
Fully.
Love it. All right. We got Pandemonium.
Again, another great platformer, which was unique of its kind due to how cool the sprites were. How cool the sprites were. The soundtrack was great. The gameplay was actually fucking goated. The gameplay was goated. Especially when you used to pick up those power-ups where you get like fire and ice and stuff like that. And you get like an invincibility power-up as well. For a short time, you get your character would turn into like metal and all this type of stuff. You have the choice of 2 characters. I will say that the game was not long enough. I can't remember how many levels there were in the game. I think it was like 20 or something like that. But it was a very, I wouldn't say simple because the game was quite difficult. But it takes you like 2 seconds to go from menu into the game, and you're going straight up the bat. The story was actually really cool.
Okay.
The story to it was actually really cool. I don't know if you know the story to that, but the story to Pan.
I've never played it.
Oh, dude, you're missing out, man.
I honestly never heard of it until I did this podcast, and I've had about 3 or 4 people on the podcast go, "Oh, Pandemonium." I'm like, how have I not heard about this game? Everyone I know that is awesome and saying this game is amazing. I need to play it.
I'm not mad at you, Johnny. I'm just fucking disappointed, all right? I am disappointed.
I'm so
God
sorry.
damn.
I never heard of it. It's not my
If you want to make up for it, you stream these games for the community.
Yeah,
the ones who love these games, and I will love to be there to watch that shit. God damn.
It's on my list.
But Pandemonium, man, god damn. So with Pandemonium, dude, I played it so much as a child that my mum tried to boycott it from me because I swear to God, the Jester character from it, his name is Fergus. I swear his name is Fergus. And my mother had dreams about Fergus doing cartwheels through the levels. She could see him, and my mum could see him in his dreams. And my mum turned around to me one day and said, "Ben, you're not fucking playing that Pandemonium game. I see the fucking Jester in my dreams. You're not playing it for a while." And she took the fucking game and she hid it in the house. And I couldn't find the fucking game. I swear this happened. My childhood was cracked, right? This shit happened. This shit fucking happened, dude. But yeah, Pandemonium was a fucking great game. The music was amazing because it was like this Irish guitar-y fucking music. It was unique game of its kind, and the story was actually great because the story was kind of simple, right? And so the both characters are stood there with this buck, right? And a funny thing was that Fergus had this fucking this stick because he was a jester, and the stick had a mask on it which talked, which looked just like Fergus. It was really fucking cool. And basically what they did, they summoned this fucking they're reading from this spell book, right? And they're casting like fireworks out over their town, and they're fucking about with this spell book. And what they do is they summon this giant fucking monster. And basically what it does is it spawns in the sky and then just eats the fucking town. And basically they're on a journey to this, what's called the wishing engine. So they can make one wish, or they have 3 wishes. They get 3 wishes granted to save their town. And the story is you play through all the levels to get to the wishing engine, giant boss battle at the end, like you would with every other platformer. Great fucking game. And then I won't say the ending, obviously, but you're on a mission to... You're on a mission to basically save the town that you've doomed by casting a fucking spell. And getting this monster to eat your town. And that is it. Pandemonium is going on A tier for me.
Fantastic. Yeah.
100%.
I love that. You played so much Pandemonium as a kid that it gave you nightmares. That's just so
it gave us psychosis. And the weird thing was, I always used to play as the female character because she had the double jump ability and she was far superior. But I think speedrunners actually use Fergus more because his cartwheel gave more speed. I think speedrunners use Fergus more. I think they did, yeah. But obviously, I never knew about speedrunning until my early 20s and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was really late to that stuff, and that's a whole different kettle of fish altogether.
Oh, aye. So we got Rayman 1 and 2 here.
Rayman 1 and 2. So, my God, where do I even start? Rayman, I played Rayman so much through my younger days all the way up to my teens. I always used to replay it. I fucking loved Rayman so much because, again, insane, unique platformer. Do you know on the back of the case for Rayman, it was that mad at the time that the game was advertised as having over X amount of colors. I can't remember if it was like 10,000 colors or something. That was like one of the advertisements on the back of the case. Is like the game has like over 10,000 colors. And blah, blah, blah. The game's artwork was incredible. The story was fucking fantastic. The gameplay and replayability is up there. So up there. Next to Crash and stuff, man. The replayability was fucking great, in my opinion. It was great. It had a great story, a lot of levels. Great content. It was definitely one of those platformers where you had to go back to other levels, like to replay them again to 100% them because of the abilities you had to unlock as you played the game. Right. You know what I mean? That's what made it special. The boss fights were fucking insane. Again, the story's great, and there's nothing much more I can say about that. And the second one. Now, I played the Dreamcast version of the second one. And again, the second one was obviously incredibly advanced for the time. Graphics were insane. Story was great. New characters. You know what I mean? Actual speaking dialogue and stuff. You know, it was great. It was so fucking great, man. But the first one, I could go on about Rayman all day. But what I will say is I'm going to chuck Rayman 1 on S tier and Rayman 2 into A tier.
Nice, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do with those games. They were insane, and they were fucking difficult games too. They were difficult game. The first one more than the second. Trust me. If you ever stream Rayman, dude, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna feel like a child in a candy shop. Yeah. But there's gonna be some parts where you're gonna go insane. I'm sure. But I'm telling you now, chat will love that. Chat will love that.
We had a chat off pre-record again. Ben is disappointed in me that I've not played Rayman yet, and yes, I will hopefully play it. And
so should you at home.
Yes, you should.
You motherfuckers at home, you should be sad that he hasn't played most of these games. Seriously, he's fucking missing out. He's missing out so much. Oh. So much.
Well,
asshole.
There's three games now that I have played a lot of, and I can't wait to talk about this with you. I've got the Resident Evil trilogy.
Oh God, where do I even begin? I remember once when me and my friend Sean, when we were children, we were playing Nemesis one time.
I think you mentioned it on that podcast as well. But we
were eating pizza.
Yeah.
We were eating pizza. We both had a mouthful of pizza, right? And when you're in the PD station, when you're in Raccoon City PD, when Nemesis bursts through the window, when he bursts through the window, me and my friend Sean, we both had a mouthful of pizza, and we both looked at each other. We paused the game as he burst through the window. We paused the game. We both screamed. We both looked at each other and screamed with a mouthful of pizza each. And the pizza fell out of our mouths because we both had slices of pizza in our mouths. And we both had needed a minute to compose ourselves before we carried on with the game.
Yeah.
It was legit. But man, all the Resi games, they were so good. I actually played 2 and Nemesis more than the first one. I kind of missed out on the first one a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though the first is like a giant walking meme with the voice acting and how good it was and stuff like that. But I had this this primary school friend of mine. His name was James, and funny enough, and I haven't seen him for years. Now, but his parents always used to buy him like the latest games and stuff like that, and he was always a massive Resident Evil fan and stuff like that. And he had like all the Resident Evil games as we were kids, dude. Especially through the PlayStation 2 and growing up, he had them all and played them all. His parents bought him the games. He was a good boy in school. His parents bought him the games. They didn't know what the fuck they were. They'd buy him every 18+ rated title. They don't care. Yeah. They're buying something to their kid. They keep their kid happy, right? Yeah. I understand it. I respect it. And that's probably why me and my friend James were so desensitized as kids, because we'd played these games and we'd played Manhunt and stuff when they came out. Mm-hmm. Like banned games like Manhunt and stuff as young children. Not just me, but a few of my friends. And we were all completely desensitized to this kind of violence and stuff. Our parents didn't care. They didn't care as long as we were happy. And we were happy to consume this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different time back then, man. Whole different time. But yeah. I have a lot of experience in the Resident Evil genres, man. I love them all, and I'm going to put all three into S tier because that is where they belong. It is where they belong.
I'm very happy
100%. 100%. 100%. That's where they belong, those games, man.
Nice. Oh, yeah. We're going to continue.
The only thing which scared me, actually, and gave me a massive phobia was the size of the spiders in those games.
Oh, yeah. I still remember seeing my first set of spiders in RE2. And I just...
In RE2? The first time I actually saw a spider in Resident Evil was on the case of the first one. Not on the front where you can see both the spiders, but on the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Because one of the advertising pictures of the gameplay, the big
boss, wasn't it? The big boss spider.
No, it wasn't. It was in the hallway where you uncover the yellow and black one. Yeah, it was one of those ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was one of those ones. Yeah, the big yellow and black motherfucker in the hallway. Yeah, and oh man, send shivers through me now, dude. They all do. What a fucking game! Well, incredible franchise.
We're gonna stick with horror because the next one is Silent Hill.
So, I remember Silent Hill, right? I remember playing a demo, right? But my neighbor ended up lending a copy of it to my mum. And my mum spent a Sunday playing it, right? My mum wanted to play the game so much that on my console in the living room that I remember the day that she was playing it because my mum had kicked me out of the house to play the game and said, go and play with your friends in the street. You're not coming in, because she didn't want me to see the game because my mother was fascinated by it, and obviously she didn't want me consuming that. But she didn't know that I'd already played this on a demo. She didn't know, right?
I played the demo as well. Yeah.
And I remember, I vividly remember stood outside in the sun below my living room window because my mum had the living room window open. I was stood there listening to the game. I'm stood there with my Star Wars skateboard and I'm listening to the game like this because she wouldn't let me see it or play it, but she didn't know that it was on a demo that I had. And obviously, I never actually got to play Silent Hill through until like I'd owned it later in my teen years and stuff, because I always like. Even though the console was advanced by then, I always used to go back and play older games because I just love to, you know what I mean? So all I used to do was game, man, you know what I mean? So I used to play loads of different consoles and stuff like that, man. Silent Hill is a fucking classic. Absolute classic. Unbelievable. So great. And I really think that the way they combated the render distance because of the engine of the game, the way they combated the render distance by making fog, how good is that? Yeah. How good is that? Like, how good is that? Silent Hill's in a league of its own. Yeah, man. Crazy game. So many different endings too. Yeah. And it's so creepy, man. So fucking creepy. Again, I'm gonna have to chuck Silent Hill up on A tier. And that's only because I prefer the Resident Evil games over Silent Hill. Yeah. Silent Hill is way more of a horror kind of vibe, I think, in my opinion, than Resident Evil, only due to the creepiness and how the game is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. You kind of resonate with me on that? Absolutely. Like, obviously, they're all horror games, right? They're all horror games, but Resident Evil, but Silent Hill was fucking depressing.
Yeah, it was.
And then totally different kettle of fish. It was depressing as fuck. So depressing. But to be honest, my most recent experience with Silent Hill, we won't talk about like Silent Hill 2 and all the PlayStation 2 versions. We'll skip all that. The rail shooter of Silent Hill Arcade is actually... Have you ever seen that?
I haven't. I've heard about it, yeah.
Insane. Great game. Great game, dude. Yeah, great game. Great game. I completed it. It used to be in my local arcade until they got rid of it. But Silent Hill Arcade, fucking great game, dude. Nice. It's actually great. Do you know what? After this podcast... I might just wade through my balloons and drive up to my local arcade. Yeah. And go play some fucking games. I might just do that, dude. I might just do that. I love arcades, dude, so much. Man. But yeah, Silent Hill 1 is going straight up on A tier due to its nostalgia, depression factor, and how unique of a game it was.
All right. So next up, we got Soul Blade.
Wow. Such a great fighting game to fully kickstart the entire Soul Calibur franchise. I don't think Soul Calibur and Soul Blade gets the respect it deserves. amongst fighting communities, and that's probably because the game is so old, and obviously the main fighting games you get these days in the fighting game community and on the circuit is your Street Fighters and your Tekkens, and obviously you've got your BlazBlue. What else? You got King of Fighters and stuff like that. You got your Dragon Ball Fighters or whatever. There's loads. Okay, there's loads. Soul Blade was so fucking good. Was so good, especially as a child. Fuck, dude. Like that game was mad. The game was mad, and it was so fast. It was such a fast fighting game, bro.
Yeah.
It was such a fast fighting game. It was nearly, in my opinion, for a 3D fighting game, it was, to me, that game seemed as fast as Killer Instinct was. Yeah. But in a 3D game, like Soul Blade was actually insane. Yeah. I wish they kept the name Soul Blade through the whole
as well. Yeah.
I think it sounds better than Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
All day.
Agreed.
It must have been a legal issue.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Or they just wanted to change the name. But I reckon if they stuck with Soul Blade, like I don't know, they're all amazing fucking games, dude. But Soul Blade has a special place in my heart. Yeah. So like, what can I say about Soul Blade? So my mum had bought the game, and my mum was actually incredibly cracked at the game because she used to play the character Sophatia, who had the sword and shield, and I used to fight my mum on it all the time, and I used to lose to my mum all the time because she always used to spam this fucking drop kick fucking thing, and she always used to go for the legs. She was a crouch attacker all the time. And she used to rub it in my face. She used to wind me up as a young child. I used to be screaming. I didn't be crying as a child because I could never beat my mum on Soul Blade, right? But no, that game was insane. I used to fight all my mum's friends on it and my babysitters on it and stuff, and yeah, dude, like so cracked, man, as a fighting game, dude. Like, yeah, it was in my opinion, especially on that console, it was one of the best to ever do it. But I always found the game incredibly creepy. The soundtrack was amazing, and so was the character design and their stories as well, and the levels that you'd play on. Like, it was so different at the time. It was fucking great, but I always found the game kind of creepy, and I don't know why I found the game kind of creepy. Yeah, baby. Did you ever play it yourself?
I did, yeah. I loved the story mode aspect of it.
It's great, right?
Traveling around the world trying to collect different weapons and stuff like that. It was so
good. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I remember Tacky, the character on it, that Tacky. Yeah, she used to freak me out because of her mask. It always had a smile on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure her mask was a smile. Tacky used to freak me out, and that vase used to freak me out, man, and stuff like that.
Was a bit creepy,
yeah, Voldo used to scare me with his fucking blade hands, man.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? The game was creepy in that sense, and obviously then you got Cervantes, the pirate, and then turns into the Soul Edge, right? Yeah. If I remember. Yeah. Turns into the Soul Edge. That used to freak me the fuck out, but I loved the game as a kid, and I'll always remember this. I'll always remember this time when I was watching my uncle and my mum play it. And they both went to attack each other, and they both headbutted each other and done a double KO. And I could probably call my mum up right now on my phone, and I could say, "Mum, I'm on a podcast right now, all right, with a guy I consider a legend amongst us, and we're talking about Soul Blade." And I bet you my mum will turn around and she'll go, "Oh, I remember when me and my uncle Shane we both butted each other into a double KO." They will always, my mum will always bring that up, dude. Like even all these years now, man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Soul Blade's going on A tier, dude.
Nice.
Soul Blade's going on A tier all day.
Hell yeah.
Great game. Great fucking game.
Right. And we got Soul Reaver. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Legacy of Kain. I didn't have that much experience with it. I played it on Dreamcast quite a lot. And when I was younger, I watched my cousin Brett play through it more than anything. It was great. I actually really enjoyed watching Miss Uki play through it. Some time ago now on Twitch. Yeah, shout out to Miss Uki out here doing some really great streaming stuff, man. I love Uki to bits. She's great. And Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain, insanely great story, man. Graphics were awesome. I think it holds some really great replayability. You know, unique game. Again, I say this about every game that we're going through, unique, because especially back then, These games were unique.
Absolutely.
Because as technology was advancing, more and more games were unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like now you've got games coming out and it kind of feels like carbon copies of every other game. Nothing kind of feels original anymore. But I kind of get it because every idea has been used.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of get it. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way gaming is now. But back then everything kind of seemed unique in its own way. Legacy of Kain is definitely one of those games again. Yep. Excuse me. And yeah, goddamn, it was really cool. I love the whole vampire arc stuff. I love all that kind of stuff, man. Abilities in the game were cool. Yeah. Like the gameplay was really cool, man. The fight and everything, it was fucking insane. I don't have a ton of stuff to say about Legacy of Kain because I never completed it, and I think I played about a quarter to halfway into the game. And I watched everyone else play it instead. So based on my own experience with the game and not from what I've seen, I'm putting Legacy of Kain on B. Mm-hmm. Only because of the fact that I haven't gone through it and completed it myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
and that makes me sad. That does make me sad.
It's a never for my Breath of Sundays list. Because I never finished it.
Yeah.
Same.
Fully understand that.
So we've had the Crash trilogy. We've now got the Spyro trilogy.
Spyro trilogy, goddamn! Again, I played the first one more than the second and third ones. I played the first one more than anything, and I distinctively remember playing the first one actually in through what was it? I can't remember actually if I played it on a demo disc first or I played it through Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Yeah,
because. There was a passcode.
There was.
Where I think it was up on the main menu to the game. I swear, I think it's up, down, left, right. Select or start.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's up, down, left, right. So, I'm looking this up right now. Yeah. I don't care if you pause the podcast. Hang on.
Yeah, go for it. But
password for the Spyro demo in Crash, bear in mind, I remember this from when I was like 12 years old. Right? Bandicoot Warped.
That was my...
It was up, down, left, right, square.
Nice.
Not select. That's how close I was to remembering this stuff.
Yeah.
And I got it on one of those cheat books you get with a PlayStation magazine, right? Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And I can't remember, actually, if it was... I played it first through that game because of the cheat book, or I played it on a demo disc. Either way, I prefer the first one over the rest of them, and that's only because of how simple the game was. There was no swimming in the game of the first one and stuff. It lacked a lot of the abilities and content that the second and third one does, but. It was, but the soundtrack and everything, man, the graphics, the gameplay, the replayability, in my opinion, I could get loads of replayability out of that, man. Yeah. Especially, I really enjoyed the levels on it where you had to destroy and collect all these items within a level. With a time limit, and every time you hit them, the flight levels, that's what they called. Yeah, so you had to get like the trains. You had to get the trains. Yeah. I think the trains, the chests, the planes, the gates. You had to fly through, and there was something else. I think I can't remember what they were. I think they were lights on the lighthouses. Can't remember. But yeah, those levels were great, man. I used to love that shit, man. And Spyro. All three of them, Year of the Dragon, and what was the name of the third one?
In the UK or Europe, it was Gateway to Glimmer.
Gateway to Glimmer. What was it called in the UK?
In the UK, that's what it was called, but in the US, it was Ripto's Rage.
Ripto's Rage, yeah. Ripto's Rage. I played them all through. You know, they all get more advanced over time. I like talking about the first one more, just because of how nostalgic it was to me. But obviously, Year of the Dragon and Ripto's Rage have way more content in them, and a lot more to do in a sense than the first one. But I'm gonna stick all three on the S tier list.
Nice.
Alongside Crash, because it wouldn't be fair to favor Spyro over Crash, especially as they were basically both mascots for Sony.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be fair. They're going on S tier. End of sport. End of sports. I think people will look at this list and they'll respect this.
Yeah, yeah.
I reckon they
you're
will.
You're being very, very nice. I love it. I love the positivity. S tier is now going on to a second line, so I'm going to start placing these games into the B tier now. Just so.
Oh wow! I'm being real generous, right? I guess I better take a shit on something and be a dick, right?
Yeah, be a dick, man. No. So we got the Siphon Filter trilogy now. Goodness, not a trilogy we hear about very often, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Do you know why it's a trilogy we don't hear of very often? Because not enough people have heard about it and played it, and the ones that have played it, I can guarantee you that all of these people will turn around and say that these games were in a class of their own, especially for the time they were made. I think so. Siphon Filter, I think, kind of failed from a selling point of view because Metal Gear Solid hadn't long came out.
Right. Yeah.
I'm very sure Siphon Filter came out after Metal Gear Solid. Right. And Metal Gear Solid was the big thing, right? So a lot of people missed out on Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter had it had the shittest voice acting in the world. If I could rate the voice acting in the for the cutscenes, right? If I could rate the voice acting, I would put it on Z tier. Because the voice acting for the cutscenes fucking sucked, right? Yeah. It fucking sucked, dude. But in game, the game, like the voice acting in the game when you're playing the game was actually really good, in my opinion. It was actually pretty good, semi-decent, really good, whatever. They're good. It's good to me. But the gameplay itself, how you could go into first person and shoot, just like Metal Gear. You could go into first person and shoot and stuff like that. I distinctively remember the gray rectangle with the crosshair in the middle of it when you'd go in, and then when you go into first person with L1. It was just so good at the time, and you could strafe, you could peek corners in that game. You can actually peek corners in first person in that game. Which I found fucking mad. And you could side run, you could strafe run as well. So can you imagine on a PS1 game you can strafe? You can literally strafe. So the way the game worked was, your character would auto aim. Your character would auto aim at enemies within a close enough range. I think it was actually quite kind of far away. Your character would auto aim at them, but then you could go into first person and you would be able to kill basically every enemy in the game with one headshot with any weapon, as long as you got that headshot. Nice. Which was fucking so good and unique, man. It was fucking great. And yeah, there was so much. I played through those games so much, man. Honestly, I haven't the actual story where it took place around it revolves around a Siphon Filter virus, right, and stuff like that. In the second one, they brought in the ability you could play as Leon. Her name was Leon Zing, I think her name was, and you could play as both of the characters in Siphon Filter 2 and 3. And the stories were great. The gameplay was banging. The graphics got better from the second one onwards, but goddamn, I played the first and second one the most, and then the third the least. Right, but I completed them. I've completed them all. They're fucking fantastic games, dude. And whoever hasn't played the Siphon Filter games, I implore you to go to check them out sometime. If you're a retro fan, you will fucking love Siphon Filter. I swear to God, you will. Like, you will. And there's this one weapon in Siphon Filter called an air taser, where you were able to shoot this thing across basically an entire map nearly. As long as you can get a lock onto an enemy, this taser will go for miles. And it was an air taser. And I don't know if these things exist in real life. I don't think they do. But you could torch and you could basically air taser the entire game if you're feeling confident enough and not use any ammo, because it was an unlimited usage weapon. And it would fire this white line, right? And when it latched onto an enemy, it would show the camera angle, a different camera angle of you cooking an enemy. And you could cook an enemy with a taser for an unlimited amount of time. And you would turn them black and they would go on fire. It was insane. It was insane, dude. Oh my God. It was insane. Only game of its kind to me back then, especially. So Oh man, I filled up the S tier so much, and I want to put it on S tier, but I want to put it on A tier as well.
Oh, do it to your list, man.
Could I put Siphon Filter 3 on A tier and Siphon Filter 1 and 2 on S tier, please?
Of course you can.
Because it's not fair. Actually, no, I take it back. I want to put Siphon Filter 3 onto B tier,
Okay.
and I want to put Siphon Filter 1 and 2 onto S tier.
Sure.
I have to. I have to. People are going to look at this list and go, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he being so nice and why is everything on S tier? Trust me, the relationship I have for these games is my childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess the people that have played these games will also relate to this. I hope they relate to this too.
Sure they will.
I really do, man.
I am
Great
sure they
games,
do.
dude. Great
Now,
fucking games.
We've got Tekken 1 and 2, but no Tekken 3, which person who made
This is
tier list,
criminal.
It's absolutely criminal. What the hell are you doing?
Fucking criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Just
because we all know 3 was the best,
Yes.
right? we all know 3 was the best, right? It is. But to be honest, I loved the soundtrack of the second one more. I love the soundtrack of the second one more, but I enjoyed the content value and more characters that you had when the stories and the cutscenes with the third one. The third one was the fucking shit.
oh man,
Honestly,
for me, it's
was
my
so
favorite fighting
good,
game
man.
Probably ever.
Yeah, the first one was ass, but
It wasn't great.
it wasn't great,
No.
but at the time, it was fucking amazing, dude. It was amazing. And then two came out and wiped the floor.
Yes.
2 came out and wiped the floor. And like what I actually like about the Tekken series is I don't know. So I don't know if it's like that now, but back in the day on the PS1, the soundtracks were different for the arcade versions compared to the home console versions.
Yeah.
The home console versions had the soundtracks were the same, but they were remade,
Yes.
and they were way better than the arcade ones. You
Yeah.
know they were.
You could
But the
choose
arcade version,
what soundtrack you wanted, I think, on Tekken 3. I don't know about Tekken 2 and 1, but Tekken 3.
No, you couldn't on Tekken 2. I don't think you could on Tekken 2 and 1, but no, the soundtracks for these games were banging. The home console versions of 1 and 2, the soundtracks were banging. Well, banging. I used to play Tekken 2 so much. So much. Honestly, like unreal. A lot of love for the Tekken games, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Especially the older ones. God fucking damn it, dude. I know the new one, Tekken 8's getting a lot of flack at the minute. It isn't as hyped up as it's meant to be. But no, I love Tekken Tag Tournament 2, man.
Yeah.
I love Tekken Tag and Tag Tournament 2
Yep.
with the modes of Tekken Bowl
Yep.
and stuff like that. In Tekken 3, we had Tekken Ball mode with the volleyball,
Yep.
which is really unique, man. Along with the side-scrolling. I can't remember what the mode was
Tekken,
called for some
Tekken
reason.
Force mode.
Force mode. That's it. Force mode. Yeah, really unique games, man. It's a shame 3 ain't on this fucking list, dude. I could talk about
Why
Tekken.
is 3 not on this list? Where,
Terrible.
where
Right.
would you put 3 if it was? I mean, I know where I'd put it.
I would argue I'd probably flip a coin for S or A because I need to put stuff in A, B, and C. It's
I'd
not
put it in
fair.
S too, but yeah,
I would feel bad putting Tekken 1 down really low on this list because again, it's a massive classic for what it was and what it stood for and how it kickstarted the Tekken series and stuff. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put Tekken 2 into A tier. I'm putting Tekken 1 into. I'm gonna put Tekken 1 into D tier.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I can.
Yes.
And no one is going to say nothing about it. And if Tekken 3 was here, I'd put it on S tier.
Yeah.
But it's not, so we won't, and we can't even talk about it. Womp womp.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, bro.
Basically. I agree with all of that. I think I'd do the exact same. I don't think I would have changed any of that if it was my list. So,
Honestly,
I think
dude,
that's great.
so much love for the Tekken games, man.
We're
Goddamn.
almost done, bro. We've only got a few games left. We got
I can't believe that.
next up we got Time Crisis.
Oh my God, Time Crisis, here we go. Time Crisis, let me tell you a little story about Time Crisis, everybody, and everyone at home. So, a few people know the story, right, about how I used to have a neighbor when I was a young child. They were crazy neighbors, so the woman... Hi, Nix. So, the woman was a Jehovah's Witness, right? And her husband your husband Ray, was a hardcore gamer. Work this one out.
Okay.
Work that one out, dude. And I used to go around next doors, man. They had a son called Christopher. Awesome dude. I actually saw him like 5 or so years back, and he'd grown up so much that I saw him in a bar, and he pulled me aside. He's like, "Is your name Ben?" With Tourette's, and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "It's Chris. I used to be your neighbor in so and so." And I was
oh my god, yeah.
No fucking way. And I was just like, "How's your dad?" I was just like, "How is your mum? How is your dad?" And they can tell me everything. And like, "Yeah, they're okay." No, I couldn't. I wanted to cry. I bought him a pint. I bought him a shot. I bought him a pint. Honestly, I gave him all the best wishes, man. I couldn't believe how well this kid had turned out. I could not fucking believe it for the life of me, dude. I could not believe it. But yeah, so about Time Crisis, right? He gave me, when I was a kid, he gave me the special Time Crisis box that you could get for the PlayStation 1, which came with the G-Con 5, which was made by Namco. So it was a big gray fucking pistol. It was huge. This thing was massive, and it had a red button on the side. I can't remember if it had one on either side. I can't remember, but the way it would work was to go in and out of cover. You would hold the pistol with 2 hands because it was this giant gray fucking pistol, and you'd have this red button on the front, and to come out of cover, you would use the red button. And you use the pistol like a gun like this because this thing was so big. You'd get three. I'm very sure it was. No, it wasn't, bro. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. I can't remember how it would work. I think the way the gun worked was you would have you'd have the red, yellow, and white connectors to go into your CRT TV.
Yeah.
But these connectors had a pass through on them. So it was these connectors, but they had extra holes in the back of these connectors, so you'd plug them in for the signal, right?
Right.
And then I'm very sure the way it worked, you plug them in for the signal, and then you plug the gun into the back of these.
Right.
For it to work with your TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it would work. And I religiously used to play in Time Crisis 1 through all the time when I was a child. And I was a weird kid because I used to play, when I couldn't be bothered to play it through with a gun, I used to play it through with the controller and the crosshair as well. But yeah, I got insanely good at that game. I knew how to get the extra routes on the levels and stuff. And the fact that the game, the home console version of the game, had a whole different special missions section of the game, which had a completely different story unrelated to the main arcade story, and how fucking good it was, and how many different routes you had. It was insane. It was fucking insane, man. If you haven't played that through, man, play it through with a controller. Okay. I swear to God, you might enjoy that a lot. Right. Like, Time Crisis 1 has a very special place in my heart, next to 2 and 3. 4 was pretty good. 5, yeah, they're good, blah, blah. Nothing beats the old retro ones, man. Time Crisis is going like, oh, man. Oh, this sucks, dude. Because, again, I want to slam this on an S tier list, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it nice. But Time Crisis was the shit. It was the shit. Anyone who objects, you suck. Time Crisis was a fucking great game, man. It was great. You get a good rush from playing it in arcades too, because you'd have the in the arcades you'd have the first one. They would be pink and blue guns, but they had most of the arcade cabinets out there. The twin ones, they had blowback guns on them. They had blowback on them. So when you fire them, they had blowback on them. So it'd simulate a gun, which made it that cool. It made it that cooler again. You know what I mean? It's worth £1 every time you put into that machine, dude. It was worth the £1 every fucking damn time, all day. But Time Crisis, yeah, real great game. I'm chucking it on A tier all day. All day. I got really good at that game.
Okay.
Really fucking good.
The last 3 games, and they are...
Oh my.
Tomb Raider 1, 2, and Last Revelation, because, am I right in saying you didn't play the 3rd one?
No, I played the Last Revelation on Dreamcast. I played the Last Revelations on Dreamcast. Never completed it.
Yep.
What was it? Chronicles. I think it was Chronicles. No, it was the Last Revelation.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the Last Revelation. Where I can't remember who the villain was for that game. Can't remember if it was a man that wore a white suit. I can't remember. Cannot remember. I swear, I'm getting my lines crossed here. But yeah, I used to love Tomb Raider, man. Tomb Raider 1 and 2 on PS1. I used to love those games. I actually spent more of my time in those games running around Lara's home and exploring rather than doing the actual game. Because there was something, I don't know what it was, man, but it was just something about Lara's home, right? And if I distinctly remember, in the second one, you could find a hidden key to ride Lara's ATV around.
Oh, okay.
Was that number 2 or was it number 3? I can't remember. I'm very sure it was Tomb Raider 2. I'm very sure. Okay. In Lara's home, you could find a key, and that key would open a gate, and that would take you to a secret track where you could ride a quad bike around her ATV.
Oh yeah, I didn't play a lot. I didn't play much. I only played the demos of Tomb Raider, but I think that is 2.
Yeah,
I think that is 2.
Yeah, I think it is 2, dude. Like, yeah, a lot of replayability on the game. It was actually a great game. Really puzzle orientated, kind of like Resi in a sense. But it was a more adventure platformer game than Resi, than kind of Resi, you know what I mean? It weren't like nowhere near as puzzly as Resi, but you had to do puzzles within these games to get through certain points and stuff. It was actually pretty hard, and you die a lot in the Tomb Raider games. Yeah. They were actually difficult, man. They were good, though. They were really good. Again, a good array of weapons. I didn't even mention that when I talked about Siphon Filter. Siphon Filter has quite a lot of weapons, and it's really fucking good. And, but yeah, Tomb Raider 2 had a good enough weapons. I would say the graphics were great. They weren't doing that great, but again, we're on a PlayStation 1, dude, but for the time, fucking great, dude. Like, I always remember, I had nightmares of the boss from the end of Tomb Raider 1 for a long-ass time. I remember completing it as a young child, and they would this big monster boss with no fucking legs. It was just this giant red thing, like a big fucking rib cage and a big fucking yellow and red head, and it had this fucking claws and made this sound, and it had no legs, and it used to drag itself around, and you'd be on this platform in this fucking temple and in this mountain or wherever, and this fucking boss would come out of this big holding fucking tank thing on the ceiling. It would break and it would drop down to the fucking ground level that you're on, and you're on this platform, and if you fell off the platform, you'd die. And the way to defeat this boss would be you'd have to run around the boss, shooting the fucking shit out of it whilst it drags itself towards you and shit. And if it got you, it would pick you up and fucking launch you off the side of the map, or it would snap your neck and shit. It was good shit. Tomb Raider for me is going. Oh, where am I putting Tomb Raider? Where am I putting Tomb Raider, dude? B or C for me. Yeah. B or C. It's B or C for me. It's one of the two. Fuck, where am I putting it? I feel bad.
So you got 1, 2, and Last Revelation.
1, 2, and Last Revelation. Okay. I'm gonna say 2 is better than 1. Mm-hmm. 2 can go on. 2 can. All right. I tell you what. 2 can go on. 2 can go on B. Mm-hmm. 1 and 3 can go on C.
Yep. I got the third one.
I feel like a bad man for that.
Yes, I do have the third one. Yep.
Some people are going to look at this list and go, what the fuck is he doing?
And then Last Revelation.
So, Last Revelation can go on C too.
All right. There we go. It is done, my friend.
Have we done the list?
We've done the list, man.
Jesus, goddamn it.
Yeah.
I can't believe we got there, dude. I can't believe we got there, man.
That's a great list. It's a fantastic list.
You reckon that's a good list?
I think that's a great list.
I reckon that's a pretty good list.
I'm feeling the love of this console, man. The PS1 console obviously meant a lot to you.
It did, along with, I can go on about every other console too.
We almost talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, and growing up, growing up, dude. The Mega Drive, the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 1, the Nintendo 64, and the Dreamcast. In my very younger years, were my favorite consoles all day, and I have a lot of love for those, man, because I played them so much all the time. Like, let's not exclude the fact that I used to religiously play PS2, original Xbox, GameCube, da-da-da-da-da-da. They're all amazing consoles, dude. I used to play handhelds a lot too, man. You know what I mean? I'm growing my retro collection again, actually. Yeah. I'm growing my, because when I moved house, when I first moved out of my home, I'd sold all my gaming stuff and I had a ton of it. And then I started collecting again, right? And then I ended up collecting a ton of retro consoles and games. And I wish I never sold any of it, because what I did was I sold it all to buy a brand new Xbox One deal for like £600 or something like that. Back then or whatever, blah blah blah. I wish I never got rid of any of it, but now I'm slowly building a new retro console collection. I've actually had people in chat from the streaming community. So it happened a while back with one of the people in our community. They were in chat. They were like, Ben, I found my brother's Dreamcast and his GameCube. Got a few games for each. All the wires. Don't know what to do with them. My brother said I can have them. I don't want them. I want to get rid of them. I hate my brother. He's an asshole. I was like, DM me. DM me.
Yeah.
And add me on Discord. And she did. And she messaged me. And I offered her money for both the Dreamcast and the GameCube and all the games and stuff, and they currently sat under in my fucking cabinet right here, which I can't see because they're all covered in balloons. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm building up a nice little collection again of nostalgic consoles and stuff, man. And it's just having the space. So right now I actually own a Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, a GameCube. I own a Switch. My PS4 Pro, my ex's brother has it, and I've let my PS4 Pro go. They can have it. I don't care. I never want to see any of them again. Whatever. They can all burn. But yeah, so I have all of those. I got a 3DS XL here. I sold my Vitas a long time ago. I'd like to get a Vita back. I have a lot of love for handhelds too. Yeah. I have a lot of love for handhelds, dude, and stuff like that, man. So yeah, I've got a quite little nice little collection going again. Little retro collection, man. But I just don't even have the time to play them. I just love looking at them. Yeah. But one day, I might throw a big party, and then we'll crack all the consoles out and all the gear, man, and we'll just smash it out, dude. I have a lot of love for retro stuff, Johnny. That's why dude, always. This is why I love coming on this channel and doing this type of content with you, because you're kind of a connoisseur amongst the Welsh streaming scene with retro games. And you have a real cool uniqueness about you, man, and that's what I've always loved, especially like these streamathons you've been doing where you try to complete X amount of games and they switch every minute. Again, yes. I don't know how your brain works. I don't know how you manage to do it, but it's a very unique thing which I don't see that often, man, and that's what I find cool about it. And this is why I enjoy doing stuff like this with you, bro. This is why I love doing it, man.
Bro, that means a lot, honestly. Thank you so much.
Legit, man. Legit. I'm one of these guys, man. I don't speak much, but I'm always there in the background. I'm always watching what the hell you're up to, because I have so much love for retro stuff, man. As much as the games I'm into now, dude. I'll never get away from old school games. Never. And a timeless, we're gonna see that.
Yes.
I'm gonna be like a kid in a candy shop.
Me too, man. Me too. Let's go. Right, that I think is it now. We've done it. We've done the tier list. Everyone, please, if you haven't, I know obviously a lot of you already have, but if you haven't followed ThatTourettesGamer, I implore that you do so. He is one of my favorite content creators. He's so entertaining, such a cool guy. Watch back the other episode that we did about 3 years ago, episode 12, and yeah, tell us how correct his tier list is.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I'm not going to care, by the way, if you guys hate me. Yeah. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to care because it's my opinion. Yeah. But if you stand by me and you like it, then I will respect you for it. But I will also respect your decision that you think it's wrong, even though I said I don't care. It's a lie. I actually do care, and I respect your decisions either way. Again, they're all opinions, yes. and here is mine. Yeah, that is the way it is.
Let's go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Much love. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.